Hello and welcome to Solent Sports News. I am Valia Pilyanidi and this is your 4 o'clock program. Callum Smith will defend his WBA Super Middleweight Championship on Saturday. The Liverpool native will take on John Ryder in an all-British class in his home city. It has been a huge few weeks for boxing, also with the KSI vs Logan Paul fight, which broke records in LA. Ben Wakeford reports.
Boxing has become one of the most media-covered sports in the world. From Usyk and Lomachenko to Anthony Joshua and Canelo Alvarez, boxers come from all over the world to see who's the most dominant.
Momentum. We saw Usyk building up and it's over just like that. Double kebab! Usyk defends all 4 cruiserweight world titles.
Once they step into the ring, it's all business. And this Saturday is no different, with Callum Smith, WBA Super Middleweight Champion, defending his belt against John Ryder in his hometown of Liverpool. With a record of 26-0, Smith is definitely the favourite.
It'll be a statement if Callum can stop him. I expect him to win, whether he gets to stop it, don't know.
The Liverpudlian definitely has advantages over most opponents he faces.
Callum's obviously the tallest guy in the tournament, so you've got very, very interesting fight. Callum Smith's obviously been hyped up to be the next big thing over it. So Saturday is going to be a question of, who's the hype job, who's not.
However, boxing traditions were challenged last week and the fans were torn. YouTubers KSI and Logan Paul fought a headline show at the Staples Centre in LA. With respective boxers on the undercard, like England's Billy Joe Saunders, many people saw it as a negative for boxing. But there are boxing hardcores who saw the positives.
It's a show business and the money business and the entertainment business, so we've got to give them credit.
Darren Simmons has boxed for 12 years and thinks the fight was good for boxing, but he was not impressed with the level of fighting that he saw.
Those guys probably couldn't go in the ring with those kind of professional fighters who are really good, who ain't getting the acknowledgement that they deserve. Matchroom Boxing promoter Eddie Hearn, who organised the fight, was thrilled with the event, but doesn't see it happening again.
It was a brilliant experiment. I don't think it's something that we look at now. Right now, everyone's hot on it. So you've got broadcasters, sponsors. What? When's the next one? Who are you going to put in next? I don't think we can look at it like that. This is a one-off between 2 huge stars with huge followings. I don't think there's anyone else in their field that it could have worked with.
Whatever people's opinions about the fight is and whatever effect it has on boxing, it was a huge success. Eddie Hearn confirmed it was the most streamed fight ever for DAZN, the American broadcaster of the fight. Boxing will now have more fans, thanks to the exposure brought to it by having 2 of the biggest internet stars face off professionally with over 40 million followers between them. It will be interesting to see if some of these fans will start supporting fighters such as Callum Smith. Only time will tell. Ben Wakeford reporting, Solent Sports News.
The ATP Finals in London have their youngest champion in 80 years. Stefanos Tsitsipas is the 2019 champion after defeating Dominic Thiem in the final. The 21-year-old Greek won 2-1 to claim the biggest title of his career. The Greek champion managed to win this trophy in his first ever ATP Finals appearance, finishing the season in 6th position in the world rankings. The Solent Kestrels basketball team managed to get another big victory on Saturday. In front of their home audience, they defeated Reading with a 106-89 score. On to football. Prior to the international window, Saints struggle in the Premier League. They sit in their relegation zone after 12 games, just about Norwich at the bottom. During his recent visit to Solent, we were lucky enough to speak to Matt Letizier about the situation at St. Mary's. Here is Doug Webber.
Here he comes, he scores! And Leicester City have 9!
This was the must-win game and Southampton have lost it at home. More boos around St. Mary's.
Saints have not had the start they would have hoped for. That defeat to Everton has left them 19th in the Premier League, without a win since April. I wonder what they would give to have some of their past players amongst the squad now.
Letizier's away here. Can he finish it? Oh, inch perfect. What talent
Le Tissier has.
I was involved in plenty of these seasons where we started the season badly and it was a struggle all the way through.
The words of Matt Le Tissier, the former Saints legend and now regular on Sky Sports Soccer Saturday, who can empathise with the squad.
We eventually managed to pull ourselves clear at the end of the season. Hopefully that'll happen again, but it's not nice to see us sat in the bottom three.
In his heyday, Le Tissier was a star for Southampton. He played almost 450 games for the club, scoring more than 160 goals.
Going for goal again. Oh! As only Matthew Le Tissier can score goals like that.
As a creative master himself, we asked him whether he thinks a lack of creativity may be contributing to the recent performances.
I think there are players in the squad who have a bit of creativity. I just think at the moment there's a lack of confidence surrounding the whole team. Sometimes as a player you have to be strong enough to be able to take those risks.
As a club ambassador, he offered himself to the club, saying he's there to help in any way that he can.
They at the football club know, everyone at that football club knows that we are on the end of the telephone for any advice they need. We have a massive, long affinity with this football club. We don't want to see it dropping down a division. And if anybody wants us up the training ground, they've just got to pick up the phone and go, can you come up?
It may all sound like doom and gloom at St Mary's, but with the support of their former players and time on their side, there may still be a way out for the red and white. Doug Webber, Solent Sports News, Southampton.
With women's football on the rise, the football clubs all around the country taking a moment to celebrate Women's Football Weekend. It's a pivotal point in the world of the women's game. Harrison Reid has a story.
England's friendly match versus Germany at Wembley last weekend set a new record attendance for a women's match in the United Kingdom, with over 77,000 fans watching on. With Women's Football Weekend having just come to a close, how successful did the event prove to be?
Paris is awaiting. Into White. That stays down, Ellen White! Lucy Bronson lob it back. Jill Scott with the header. In another second. Lead to the cross the far post. There's the breakthrough!
Records were smashed this weekend, with attendances in the Women's Super League also broken. A real breakthrough has been made in the world of women's football. Journalist Vicky Sparks has been involved within the game for a number of years and has seen the progression firsthand.
It's the result of a lot of planning, a lot of hard work, a lot of determination, particularly from the FA and everybody involved in women's football to make it accessible, to make it attractive, and to make it something that people want to come and see and want to particularly take their kids to as well, and I think it's brilliant.
Southampton ladies are currently undefeated in Tier 5 of women's football and also broke their attendance record with over 800 in attendance. At only £3 a ticket and a free burger on offer, the offer proved a great success and saw plenty of pleased fans at the Snow Sports Stadium for their 7-1 win over Bournemouth.
Very important that everybody backs women's football in general. I think it's a growing sport. Our child's involved in girls football, so that's why we're here today.
I enjoy watching it. There's far less rolling around in mock agony on the floor and time wasting, so in many ways you can enjoy this more than the professional game of men.
Oh, it's fantastic. It should really have equal recognition.
Our daughter plays locally, so it will inspire her to maybe continue, because I'd like her to maybe think that she could play at this level one day.
Championship side Lewis Town FC are a mark above other clubs around the country, with the side paying both men and women equally in what was a landmark announcement 2 years ago. Director of Football Charlie Dobris has a clear image of what women's football will be like in the future.
Well, I think the future of women's football in the next 5 years will be definitely larger than it is now, but it may not yet have broken through, and if it doesn't, it will be the game sport, because it will only be for lack of investment in every sense of the word. But I think if you look at women's football in 30 years' time, I think it will absolutely be right up there with men's football. It's an inevitability. It's just a matter of timescale, and I think that now is the time for a much bigger investment.
With the Women's Football Weekend at completion, women's football has a real opportunity to capitalise on the brilliant work done by clubs up and down the country. Harrison Reid, Solent Sports News.
On to golf, Tommy Fleetwood beat Sweden's Marcus Kinhult to win the Nedbank Golf Challenge in South Africa. The Englishman started the final round 6 shots off the lead but managed to lift the trophy. This is his first victory since January 2018, and Fleetwood admits it's been a long time coming.
All we want to do is win, really, and everybody strives for the same things week in, week out, and unless you do, you're never satisfied, even finishing second. And I think last week was such a great week off. I had my coaches out and we did some great work, and I turned up this week just feeling good about my game, but weren't quite ready for today, but we'll take it.
That's all from us for today. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, you can keep up to date on our website solonjournalism.co.uk.